eyes settle in, and right away, create your breath as deep, slow, and rhythmic. And stretch your fingers out, stretch your breath out a little bit more. And then with the next inhale, lift up to downward facing dog. And spread all 10 fingers out. And so stretch your fingers wide. Turn your hands left and right so that your index fingers are pointing forward. So quite a few of you could go wider with your hands. And just play. And as you go wide with your hands, feel for your shoulders to expand. So there's space across the back of your shoulders, space across your chest, your collarbones. And then from that wide, expansive space through your upper body, press down through your hands and press your seat up and back to create some length. Take a breath in, blow all the air out, and step up to the top of your mat. At the top, inhale, lift halfway up, and exhale, ragdoll pose. Good. Get connected through your feet. And so set your feet at 12 o'clock. Everyone looks pretty good there. Lift your 10 toes up. Spread all 10 of your toes out and keep them lifted here for a moment. So baby toe comes up, fourth toe comes up, third toe comes up, second toe, big toe. Lift all the toes up and then spread and open the gaps between all your toes. And like Angie's reaching down and actually pulling some of them up, it might be like that. And if you're resisting lifting your toes, ask why. Yeah, just like come in and be interested in waking up all the different cells and parts of your body, getting everything online, and then keeping your toes lifted. Press your big toe mounds. Put some weight into your big toe mounds. Press some weight into your heels. And then from that connection of your feet into the floor, zip your leg muscles up and your core up towards your spine. And now breathe right there. Deep, deep breaths. With that support from the floor coming up through your core. You gotta get clear on this connection, get clear on your intention for your practice this morning. Take a big breath in, blow all the air out, and then press down through your feet, come rolling up to stand. At the top, reach up, open your fingers up, stretch up, big early morning stretch, and exhale your hands to heart center, Sama Siti. 3 ohms. Inhale. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Drop your head all the way down, bend your knees a lot. Then inhale, lift halfway up, press your seat back, your crown forward, and then step back to high plank and hold it. Set your hands. Lift and spread your toes. So really get plugged down through the big toe mount of each foot and squeeze your leg muscles to the bone. Charge up your leg strength. Good. Keep your legs strong here. Take a breath in, look forward. Now exhale, low push-up. Bend your elbows, it might just be a little bit. Inhale, upward facing dog. Your knees can be up or down. Exhale, downward facing dog, press it back. Yeah, that's like the waking up process. Take 3 breaths. Yeah, so a lot of you, pretty much all of you have been practicing at least for some amount of regularity. And it's possible to come in and be like, I know what to do and I'm going to bang it out. And see if you can drop that right now that you know it's going to happen and get completely dialed in to what is on offer. So like breath by breath, instruction by instruction, can you be that dialed in and open to whatever shows up this morning? Take a big breath in, blow all the air out. Move your feet up to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway up, press your seat way back, and then fold to the floor. Reach up, extended mountain pose, stretch high, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Now hold it right here, halfway lift. Bend your knees, everybody, bend. Press down through the center of each heel. So get your heels in on the action here by weighting them down. And as you press your heels, roll your sitting bones up and back. Go a little bit higher with your hands. Bend your knees more. Good. Yes, they'll keep your chest lifted. So still here, roll your sitting, yes, back. Lengthen from your tail to your crown and take 2 more breaths there. So get as much space along your spine as you can. A pose not to skip through. Drop this down if you can. Yep. Take 1 more breath, get long, and exhale, fold. Press down through your feet, reach up. Extended mountain pose, lift and open. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Create that long spine, knees a little bent. Press your seat back. Low push up, step it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Good. Take 3 breaths. 2 more. Bend your knees a little bit. Roll your sitting bones up and back. Lengthen your spine out. Take your last breath in here. Blow all the air out. Move your feet up to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Extended mountain pose. Press down, reach up, stretch high. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, lift halfway up. Low push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Last breath in. Blow all the air out, look forward. Move your feet up to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Extended mountain pose. Reach, stretch, forward fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 2 more. Use your breath to bring your attention to this moment, this pose, this brief second in time. 1 more breath in. Blow it totally out. Move your feet up to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Extended mountain pose, Lasana. Lift your belly up and forward fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Soften your joints, soften your elbows, put some bend in your elbows, put some bend in your knees. Get connected down through your hands and feet. And from hands and feet, roll your sitting bones up and back. Good. Take a breath in. Blow it out. Move your feet up to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Chair pose. Good. So in your chair, grab your block on the way up. I forgot to mention that. Grab that block on the way. And with the block, you're going to take your fingers facing forward, bring the block right up against your chest. So you're here. You don't have to be super high in your chair either. So set your feet up 12 o'clock. Take the height of your chair. Fingers point forward, and then elbows out to the sides. You're going to squash that block. So it's almost as though you're trying to make the block go from this to that. Okay, so give it a good squish. Mike, turn your fingers forward. So it's going to change how this moves. Yes. Now with the inhale, press the block forward. Keep squeezing the block. And on the exhale, pull the block back against your chest. Keep squeezing it. Good. 4 more. Press out. and squeeze in. 2 more. Good. Here comes the last one. You're going to press the block out. With the exhale, pull it back, and now hold it. And as you hold, press the block, sit a little bit deeper, and lift your chest up into the block. Take 2 more breaths. So let your upper body warm up, let your core warm up. Take 1 more breath in, and then forward fold. Block and go down to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior 1. Grab the block on the way up. Okay, so this time with your block, you're going to take it to the center of your chest, same hand position. Set your feet for your warrior 1. Now on the inhale, you'll press the block up, probably not straight up, but kind of like up to a diagonal, up and forward. And on the exhale, pull it back to your chest. Do that 3 more times. And as you move, really feel like your chest points to the block the whole time that you move the block. Beautiful. The next time the block's at your chest, you'll hold it. So hold it at your chest. Good. Press your thoracic spine into your chest and then your chest into the block. Take 2 more breaths. Widen through your upper body. So elbows nice and high. Yep. Here's your last breath in. Then block to the floor. Step back. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Wide open chest. Downward facing dog. Take it back. Step your left foot forward. Warrior 1. Grab the block on the way up. So those of you with the cork block, I feel a little, you have some extra resistance training with the cork blocks. So you'll take the block this time over top of your head. You can keep it on the top, or you can bring it behind your head if your shoulders allow for that. Cool. Press the block into the back of your head and the back of your head into the block. Perfect. Now press your palms flat into the sides of the block. So no finger grabbing at all. This is only palm pressing. Good. With the inhale, take your elbows wide. Most of you have that already. And on the exhale, wrap your elbows forward. Good. Inhale, open wide. And exhale, wrap. 2 more times. 1 more time here. With the exhale, wrap your elbows in. Hold it here. And now reach your elbows straight up for the ceiling as you squeeze the block. Good. 3 more breaths. 2 more. And you wrap your elbows in so they go that way. Now your elbows go up. Good. Take 1 more breath in, Angie and everyone. Block to the floor, hands to the floor, step back, low push up. Right? Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. It's like that when your body starts to feel sensation, we start to forget about other parts. And that's the awakening. Like, can you feel your body in certain parts? And can you also then stay aware of your whole body existing and still being there, even as some parts light up? Take a big breath in, blow all the air out, and step or float feet to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Chair pose. Sit back. You can reach forward or up. Forward folds. Lift halfway up. Low push up. Take it back. Upward facing dog. Stretch your chest open. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Warrior 1. So again, hands can go forward or they can go straight up. Low push up. Be willing to play around with your arm shoulder placement. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior 1. I've been using my hands a little more forward nowadays. Low push up. It feels better on my shoulders. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. Empty completely. Feet to your hands. Halfway lifts. Fold. Chair pose. Full breath in. Fold. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot warrior 1. See if you can lunge a little bit deeper this time. Low push up. Up dog. Down dog. Left side warrior 1. So you'll sink your pelvis straight down. Low push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let a sigh come out. And now 2 more breaths. Last breath in, empty completely, feet to your hands. Half, fold. Chair, fold. Halfway lifts, low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. Stretch your arms straight up, low push-up. Up dog, down dog, left side, warrior 1, arms forward and up, low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths, 1 more Sambi. 2 more breaths. Last breath in, blow all the air out, move your feet to your hands. Half, fold. Chair pose, sit way back, fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. You could step back, float back, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, right side warrior 1. Pelvis down, arms up. Feel that stretch, low push up. Upward facing, down dog, left side. So like your pelvis and your hands want to go in 2 separate directions, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, down dog. Take a deep breath in, blow all the air out. Bring your big toes together to touch behind you. Lift your right leg up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip, pause. Pause right there. So in the pause, press down through both hands, the thumb side of each hand. So like Nancy, a little more on your thumbs, press down. And through that press, lift and lengthen, especially the left side, your left side waist. Yeah. So keep that space on the left side open. Your left, that's it. Hip opens up and pulls away from your left rib. Keep that, but open your top leg up too. So there's like this 2 different forces that kind of fight each other a little bit. Take a deep breath in. Now flip. Stay long through both sides of your body. You can stretch your right arm forward. That can feel good. You could cactus your top arm. Angie's doing some of that backstroke kind of shape and movements through her right arm. That feels good. Take 1 more breath in and then flip back. High plank. Heels to the right, left hand high, side plank. Good. Pull your toes up towards your shins. That's it, Sarah. And you could stagger your feet. So 1 foot can go behind a little bit. Makes it a little more stable, and I'll pull your toes up to your shins. Just feel how it makes your legs solid. Get a full breath in here. 2 hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Bring your big toes together to touch. Lift your left leg up and back. Bend your knee, open your hip, pause. Okay, so hand, shoulder width. Put some weight in the thumb side of each hand, press down. And then lengthen your waist up and back, especially now the right side waist. So you're recreating all this space by pulling your belly strength up into that space. Good. Take a big breath in. Now flip. Press your bottom hand deep down into the floor and pin your shoulder blades in towards your upper back. Take a big breath in, open your chest up wide, hands to the floor, high plank, heels to the left, right hand high, side plank. So right away, strong legs. Pull your toes up towards your shins. Right, so you're going to release the grip of the floor with your toes. Let go of the grip and zip up. Come into your leg strength. Good. Keep pulling your toes up to your shins, up to your shins. Take 1 more breath in. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, open your heart. Downward facing dog, press back. Step your right foot to your right thumb, crescent lunge. Waking up's hard to do, man, right? I know when that alarm goes off in the morning and it's time to wake up, it's not like a soft, happy feeling that I have. It's like, oh, here we go. And sometimes it's like that. It's like a different level of waking up that's happening now. Come into your lunge and set your pelvis up so that both hip points point to the front of the room like headlights. That means your back hip, the left hip point, wrap that forward towards the front of the room. Good. And then reach your arms up. Get a big breath in, stretch high, hands to heart, hinge forward, and twist to the right side. As you press your back heel towards the back of the room, stretch your front knee and your bottom shoulder towards the front so you get long. Take a breath in, blow all the air out, rise up for the crescent lunge, and then open up warrior two. Bend your front knee over your front heel, nice and deep. Take a big, big breath in and tilt, extended side angle. Got right forearm to your right thigh. That's a good part or a good place to start. You can have your fingertips on a block to the inside of your front ankle. That's another great spot. Everyone bend your knee forward and press your front heel down. So come into that deep lunge. 2 more breaths. Keep working your front knee forward. Yep. Take 1 more breath in. Hands to the floor, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot to your left thumb, crescent lunge. Right, so it matters less. It's good to have the long lunge, but it doesn't matter so much how long the lunge is. Where the key is your knee being over top of your heel. So some of us are kind of tracking back here, and you just lose foot contact, like you lose your foundation that way. Bend your knee and stack it right over your heel, and now drive your heel down. It helps to lift your toes. It gives you like a really clear feeling of your heel in the floor, and you'll feel all of a sudden like your leg muscles hug up against the bone when you do that. Now keep your leg just like that. Bring your hands to heart, hinge, and twist to the left side. So keep your leg like that. Breathe. So it's going to take a lot of oxygen to keep the muscles in there fueled. And as your front leg stays staked like that, press your back heel back and stretch your torso forward. So from your back heel to your head, you get as long and stretched out as you can get. Take a full breath in. Blow all the air out. Keep your front knee where it is. Rise up, crescent lunge. Keep the knee bent. Open up, warrior two. So if you need to like straighten bend your knee a couple times just to like get a breather, that's fine. It can be like that. And then come back into that deep knee bend. Right? So you might have to shorten a little bit if that's where you're at today. That's fine. But stack your knee. So Mike, like 1 or 2 more inches forward, right over the heel. Goes your knee, not your foot. Yes. Yes, beautiful. Breathe right there. Sarah, go a little bit further. Yep, right there. Ray, front knee 2 more inches forward. Good. Now drive your heel down. Take a breath in. Ray and everybody. Now tilt. Extended side angle. Keep your knees stacked. It's so tempting to hang back like that 1 inch. And it's when you come right into that stack that magic begins to happen. Now drive your heel down. Lift your toes up. Drive the heel down. Down 1 inch into the floor. So drive your heels into the floor. Good. Take a big breath in. Stretch long. Hands to the floor. Low push up. There are your legs. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Blow all the air out. Look forward. Step or float. Feet up to your hands. Lift halfway up. And fold. Chair pose. Chair pose. Lift your toes up. Up off the floor. Yep. Peel those babies up high. Good. Now sink your heels down and back. And working your hips back will help you access your heels. Take 3 more breaths here. And this is where I'm finding that taking my hands a little bit more forward actually gives me that ability to take my hips back further. When I'm up here, I kind of get stuck up and forward. So take your hands forward a little bit and really reach your seat back into your heels. Bring your hands to heart center. Tip and twist to the right side. Press both heels straight down evenly into the floor. Good. Continue to pull your toes up and lift your arches up towards your inner thighs. Good, Jordan. Take a full breath in. Blow all the air out. Keep the seat. Chair pose. Sit back. Reach high. And then fold. Fingers to toes. Forward fold. Yeah. This is the moment I find where like all of that the little extra, like the 1 inch in the lunge and all that fired my legs up, here's where it really feels good because there's a new level of release that you get access to in the back of your legs. Open your feet up hip width, bend your knees enough, relax your upper body totally down. We're still there. We're still folding. Yeah, we're still there. And so just be right here. Drop your head all the way down. There's nowhere to get to. We're all in here for an hour. You're not going to go faster and get out earlier. Take a full breath in. Blow all the air out. And then release your feet. Chair pose. Sit back. So create it from that timeless space. Give yourself permission to be led. Lift all 10 toes up. Just do that thing, just that. And now work your hips back. And as you sit into the heat, breathe. That's your strength. Unlock the strength in your legs. Take a big breath in. Hands to heart, tip, and twist to the left side. Now stay in the deep seat. 1, 2. Continue to work your sitting bones back. 3. As your hips go back, stretch the top of your head forward. 4 and 5. Chair pose, reach high and fold. Gorilla pose. Open your feet up. Yeah. This is like that good Lord pose. Like you have a moment to like let a little bit of steam off. Let your head drop all the way down. All the way. Let your spine cascade all the way out of the bowl of your pelvis, totally. Take a deep, deep breath in. Blow all that air out. And then release your hands, crow pose at the top of your mat. Set your hands shoulder width, index fingers forward, fingertips into the floor deep. 5. Now breathe right where you're at and stay there. 4, 3. So lean forward and just hold it. So no jumping. Lean and hold it right there. 2 and 1. Feet to the back of your mat. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Pin your shoulders back. Downward facing dog. Press back. Take a big breath in. Blow all the air out. And then move your feet up to your hands. Lift halfway and fold. Press down through your feet, roll up to stand, extended mountain pose, reach high. Feet together, bend your knees, eagle pose, right side. Lift your standing toes up. See if you can. It might even just be a little better. You might get a couple of them up and press your standing heel down. And step down, reach up, take a breath. Left side eagle pose. Take a sigh to settle into the pose, settle into your foot. And lift your toes and press the heel. And then step down, reach up, take a breath. Right side eagle pose. Try not sitting quite so deep. So sit a little less. You might find the little less you have more heel access. Yeah. Now as you press your heel, then play with sliding your hips down a little bit more, but keep your heel pressed down. Take one more breath. Step down, reach up. Left side eagle pose. Poses are kind of like that. I think of them like IKEA furniture, right? You like put the cams in and some have to be loose and kind of get the furniture together, and then you can tighten everything in. And so get the cam of your heel kind of set into the ground. Then you can tighten and start to pull down deeper into the pose. Really good. Step down, reach up, take a breath. Catch your hips, standing leg raise right side. So you can bend your knee up, catch your knee, catch your big toe and extend your leg. Ground your standing heel and ground your standing big toe mound. So the joint where your big toe plugs into your foot. Then open your leg to the right and gaze off to the left. You might find it's like a dance where your foot dances like heel, big toe, heel, big toe, heel, big toe. Find the place, find the balance between those 2 points where they can both ground. And then come back to center, kick your right leg forward, reach both arms up high, airplane pose. The balancing series is really interesting if you really just zoom into your standing foot and kind of feel how the needs change as you move around into the different poses. So I find here I need more big toe mound. You might find something different. Bring your hands to heart, half moon. Left hand down, right arm high. Yep, water bottle or a high block. I would go for that. That's almost like perfect. Now press your back heel strong towards the back of the room. Sarah's taking the bind. That's great. And now 2 more breaths. Chest forward, top heel back. Take 1 more breath in, stretch, and then release both feet to the floor and fold. Bend your knees and release the back of your legs. Come all the way down for a moment. If you've got that, get your breath, and then press down through your feet. Stand up. Standing single leg raise left side. And so organize your standing foot. You might have to soften your knee a little bit. You might have to kind of adjust how your standing foot is angled. Get that sense of your heel pressing down, big toe pressing down, and then open your leg to the left. You'll feel your weight probably swing out to the right. Can you pin your big toe mound down a little bit more? Nice, right, to bring everything kind of back to center. And then come back to center with your left leg. Kick forward, reach high, airplane pose. So in my body, my standing knee needs to bend more as I come here, and my big toe needs to pin more. It might be a little different for you. Bring your hands to heart center, half moon. So as I come here, I focus on really pressing my big toe mound down as my top hip turns up. And then once you're open, you can bind, you can stay extended, press your back foot or shin to the back of the room, and your chest towards the front. So Angie, really chest forward. Yes, like that. Now 2 more breaths, Angie and everybody. Take 1 more breath in, and then 2 feet to the floor and fold. Beautiful. If you're using a strap for dancer pose, grab it. Come all the way up to stand, and then dancer or bow on the right side. Bend your right knee, catch your right ankle, or strap it. Okay. Get anchored through your standing foot first. Then kick your right shin back and your chest forward. If you lose your foot at all, your standing foot, bend your standing knee a little bit more, and you'll probably find you're able to reground your standing foot again. Take a breath in, and then step down. 2 feet to the floor, change sides, dancer pose, left side, or standing bow. It gets really tempting to jump into the pose, and the result then is like trying to keep your feet the whole time. And so pause, take a sigh, and settle into your standing foot. You have the time to do this. Just trust that you do. And then with the next breath, reach out. Take one more breath in and step down 2 feet to the mat. Hands to your hips, get a breath in and out. We're going to do it one more time each side. And then set it up right side, dancer pose. Give yourself 1 or 2 breaths to just sigh and organize your standing foot. Yep, especially if you start to wobble. And then once you have that, then kick back, stretch forward, and reach out into the edges of the pose. Nice, Jill. Take a full breath in and step down, change sides. I used to hate dancer because I was like, I can do this big back bend, but I can't really because I'm on one leg. And I have to worry about the one leg the whole time. But it taught me how to really come in and be mindful and not just like jump the gun and dive in and bend in half. It really forces you to slow down and balance your chest and your leg because otherwise you're going to fall out. Take one more breath in and then step down. 2 feet at the top of your mat, tree pose on the right side. So right foot comes up. Press your palms into the center of your heart. And draw your standing heel down and stretch your arms up towards the sky. And root down to reach up, take a big breath in, and then step down and change sides. Tree pose on the left. Press your right thigh into your left foot, hug into center. And then from your center, press down through your standing heel and lift up through the pelvis to the crown. Take a full breath in and 2 feet to the top of your mat. So all the way up at the top of your mat, inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose, and exhale, fold. Lift halfway up, long spine, low push up, take it back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands, triangle pose. And so set your front foot up as though you were balancing only on that foot. So you have a whole new relationship you've created with your feet at this point of the practice by only working one at a time. Press your front foot down. Soften your front knee enough that your right thigh bone moves back into the center of your pelvis as you press your foot. And now as you breathe, lengthen both sides of your body. Move the block a little more forward, Ray. Yeah. And so as your right hip crease deepens, lengthen your right shoulder and that space under your shoulder blade forward. So you're reaching like out through here. Take 2 more breaths. One more breath in, stretch, and then 2 hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Down dog. Take a breath in, blow the air out, then step your left foot between your hands, triangle pose. It's like if you've ever known couples, do you ever know a couple like that you never meet them single, like it's only just the couples go everywhere, and you never get to know each individual as an individual, you just know them as a couple. Your feet are like that. And so in your balancing poses, you get to learn your feet one at a time. Like here's what right foot's like, here's what left foot's like. So as you come into your triangle pose, get totally clear and plugged into left foot. So really feel your left foot as though it is there by itself. And from the press of your left foot, hug your left thigh bone back, and now plug into your right foot. And as you have both feet cleanly pressing down from both feet, lengthen your spine. That's it. Now breathe. Feel each foot individually pressing down. Take one more breath in, and then 2 hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, blow all that air out, and then slide out high plank position, lower all the way down to the floor. At the bottom, keep your toes tucked. So all 10 toes tucked into the mat, probably hip width distance for most of us. And then with your hands, stretch back. So hands to the back of the mat, palms down, keep your toes tucked, and come up to locust pose. So your feet will stay on the mat. And as you lift, press your heels towards the back of the room to lengthen your legs out and stretch your chest towards the front. Now 2 more breaths. Take 1 more breath in, heels back, chest forward, and lower all the way down. Take 1 breath here, and then tuck your toes. Keep your feet here, locust pose, stretch up. And so really press your heels back. Locate your heels with your attention and press them to the back of the room. Yeah. Take a breath in and lower it all the way down. Good. Take a breath. Next up is floor bow. Bend your knees, catch the top of your ankles. Flex your ankles at least to start, at least for the beginning. And then as you kick your shins back, kick your heels up, and relax your upper body. So if once you're up there like that, you prefer to point your toes, now you can point your toes at the top. Take 2 more breaths. Keep kicking your heels way up. 1 more breath in, and then lower it all the way down. Wag your tail. Collect your breath. You've got 1 more set. Floor bow, bend your knees. Catch your shins, and then kick high. Kick into my hands. Yes. 3, keep kicking into my hands. Breathe. 2, big breath in. Kick up, kick up, kick up. And 1, good. Lower it all the way down. Windshield wiper your legs. Wag your tail. And then plant your hands beside your lowest rib. Inhale, upward facing dog. Peel up. Downward facing dog. Press back. Take a breath in. Blow all the air out. Look forward. Step or float to a seat. Lie onto your back. Set up for bridge pose, feet hip width. Press your feet down and lift your hips up. So as you get to this part of the practice, you can't really see or engage with your feet in any kind of way other than just feeling them. So feel your feet cleanly on the floor. Feel the center of each heel. Feel the big toe out of each foot. And if you can't feel them, move your feet around a little bit. So I find if I can't get my heels down, my feet have to walk forward. If I can't really feel my big toes, my feet have to walk back towards my shoulders a little bit. Ray, walk your feet back towards your shoulders a little bit more. Yep. Now lift all 10 toes up. Beautiful. Now keep all that. Press your right foot down, just the right one. So locate your right foot, push down more. You're going to lose the weight in your left foot. Keep pressing the right more and more. Now lift your left knee into your chest. Drive your right heel deep down into the floor and press your left heel up towards the ceiling. 5, breathe. 4, soften your face. 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knee, plant your foot, butt to the floor, come all the way down. Get a breath in and a breath out. Bridge pose, come back up. Set your foundation. So this will be hard if you don't have your foundation set. Consider that there is an ease you can tap into, like the ground and the rebound force from the ground can make this easier for you. So arrange your feet that your heels press evenly down, your big toes press evenly down, and now load your left foot more. Shift weight into your left foot. So you're not going to rush this just yet. Keep loading your left foot. Get the weight there. Now right knee into your chest. Press your left heel straight down into the floor and your right heel straight up. So almost see if you can feel that as you press your left foot more, your right leg wants to lift up more. That's that rebound. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in. Foot to the floor, butt to the floor. Come all the way down. Good. Get a breath in. Blow that out. Bridge pose. Come on up. We're doing 4 more back bends. And then stay here or wheel pose. 1. Both heels. Press them down. 2. 3, turn them in a little bit more, 4, and 5. Come all the way down. Get a breath in, blow the air out, bridge your wheels, set up, and come up. Plug into your heels. Yes, 1, 2, keep dialing your heels down, and then 3, 4, and 5. Tuck your chin, come all the way down. Take a breath. Blow it out. I like Jordan's idea. Bridge your wheel. Come on up. And then from where you are up, load your right foot down. So come up, feel your right foot press, and pull your left knee up into your chest, wherever you're at. And it could just be like left heel off the floor, left knee to your chest. Take 1 more breath in. Come all the way down to the floor. Get a breath. You know we've got 1 more side and what's probably going to happen. Bridge your wheel. Come up. Nice, Jordan. And then lift up. Load the supporting foundation first. So your right foot won't lift until your left heel digs down. You've got to drive your left heel into the floor. Good. Take a breath in and lower all the way down to the floor. Supta Baddha Konasana. It seems to be like a secret of life that you tap into with yoga, that you cannot go up until you dig the foundation down further. You have got to root deep if you're going to rise high. Rest your hands, catch your breath. Take a big, big breath in. Blow all the air out. Dead bug pose. And smooth your breath back out. And see that you can do that. Deep, slow, rhythmic inhales and exhales. Just feel how that action brings you right into the here and now, this one moment, this one pose. And then release your legs, stretch your legs up towards the ceiling, sit on your hands, and even with your legs now off the floor, press your heels up into the ceiling like you're standing on the ceiling, and pull your toes down towards your face. Take a breath in, lower your right foot to hover, push through your right heel. Take a breath in, exhale, switch your legs. Take a breath in, exhale, switch. Breath in, exhale, switch. Go for 30 seconds like that. And so as you move, meditate on the action of pressing through your heel. And even if you choose to point your toes, focus on your heel reaching forward as well. 8 seconds. For 3, 2, 1. Both legs up. Take a breath in. Lower your legs a third of the way down. Push through your heels. So your inner thighs stretch forward through your heels to the front of the room. Good. Take a breath in. Lower a little bit more. Really good, Sarah. Take a breath in. If you can, lower a little bit more and look up at your feet. 5. So even there, Jill, toes pointed, but reach your heels to the front. But your toes can stay pointed. It's just that everything goes forward. 5, 4, and your toes, and your toes. 3, like that. Now hold that. 2, and 1. Legs up. Hug your knees into your chest. Good. Catch the back of your thighs. Rock forward and back. 1, 2, 3. And on the third one, boat pose. Boat pose. Start your boat with bent knees. Start bent. Bent knees. Perfect. Now have your feet locate your heels. Okay, so you don't have to touch them, you know where they're at, and locate your sitting bones. From your bent knees, your heels and your sitting bones are going to stretch away from each other. So lead with your heel. Sitting bone digs in and heel pushes up and out. Just do one leg and then rebend that knee. Do the other leg and then bend that knee. Now try it without that. Just go to straighten your leg. So you're not doing anything with your heel, you're just straightening them. And notice it like loads your leg muscles up. Press the heel and the sitting bone, and you're going to feel it start to plug you into your core. Play with that a little bit more. See if you can play with pressing through your heels and what that taps you into differently. Good. For 5, 4, 3, really good, 2, and 1. Catch the back of your legs, rock and roll, 1, 2, 3, downward facing dog on the third. From down dog, half pigeon on the right side. Rest your head down, relax your shoulders. And notice how your breath, as it's occurring right now, which is great. Your breath is going to speed up a little bit. You've been doing some work. But see if you can come back to the breath, your breath, slow, deep, rhythmic way of breathing. Deep, slow, rhythmic breathing. Take one more breath. And then plant your hands, step back, down dog, change sides. Left side, half pigeon. And right away, deep, slow, rhythmic breathing. And there's so many different elements and forces that we interact with during the day that just kind of have like a drift to them. They have a way of operating. Our body has a certain way of just interacting with gravity. Our breath has a way of reacting to what's happening around us. Something startles us and we suck air in, or something relaxes us and we let it exhale out. And in yoga, we begin to play with, well, if I take these on and make choices about the things that would normally be a reaction, if I take them and use them as a response, how can I begin to create my experience different than what was just going to happen? So as you come here, your breath might be quick, or you might be oriented to gravity just a certain way. Get present to where you are and what it is you want to have happen, and be for it. And I don't know about you, but I want to relax at this point in the practice. And I find that the deep, slow breath shifts my body from that state of fight and gripping and resisting the pose to melting into it. Try breathing deep and slow and just feel for yourself what result comes from it. Take one more breath. And then press up to your hands. Swing your right leg forward at the top. Seated single leg extension. Good. Reach your arms up high. Create the lift through your spine. So you'll have to create that space. It won't just be there. And then fold down over your front thigh. Good. Bend your right knee enough that as you go to fold, your right hip point touches your right thigh top. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then sit up. Change your legs. Reach up. And so notice like my default is there's always like that little bit of a slouch in my spine. So you'll have to root down through your sitting bones to lift all the way up and then fold with that long spine. Take it with you. Left hip point to your left thigh. And then breathe. As you settle right into the center of the pose and whatever tension needs to be released, breathe with it. Be a cause for what it is you want to have happen. And then sit all the way up, both legs straight down the mat. Sitting bones down, arms high, lift up, breathe in, and then fold, catch your feet. Yep, use the blocks. Like Angie's got the block past her feet. Jill's using a towel around her feet to catch. So use what you can. Bend your knees a little bit more. There you are right there. Now breathe. Bend your knees a little bit more. Keep going, keep going, keep bending, keep bending, keep bending. I know. There you go. So there's your hip points touching. And then breathe right there. Good. Take one more breath. With the exhale, release all the way in. So head down, drape down, let everything drop down into the pose. And then with the inhale, come up, reverse table. Hands to the floor behind you, fingers forward. Plant your feet, plant your hands, lift your hips, lift your heart. And your legs can stay straight for reverse plank too. Hips up very high. Upper back up into your chest, very high. Take a big breath in. Open your mouth, and then sit all the way down. Lie back, fish pose. So you can do this with a block high up between your shoulder blades. And my favorite way to set this up is so that the edge of the block catches the base of my skull. So now as I rest here, the block holds the space along the back of my neck, as well as supporting the chest opening here. This is one of the poses where the cork blocks are not quite as cozy as the foam blocks. And then relax your throat, relax your shoulders as much as you can. You can take your hands wide, and you might find turning your palms up opens up a little bit more space. And then relax into the support as much as you can. Take 3 more breaths. That last inhale, fill up all the way. And then open your mouth, exhale out. And then reach up, catch your head with your hands. Support your head as you roll to the side. Take the block out. Lie back, take your legs up, waterfall. Just stick a block under your butt, take your legs up, shoulder stand, headstand or handstand. As you reach up, reach your heels towards the ceiling. So even if your toes go up, if you're pointing, stretch your heels up too. So it's like the back of your legs, from your sitting bones to your heels, are as long as the front of your legs. Oh, you didn't want these. And stretch your legs towards the floor behind you, plow pose. And try it here. Reach your heels towards the back of the room. Reach your sitting bones towards the ceiling. Drop your knees around your ears, Deaf Yogi. Round your spine. Pit of the belly in, ribs in towards center. And then one bone at a time, roll out onto your back. At the bottom, with your knees into your chest, drop your knees to the right, to your arms look left for one breath. And then change sides. Come back to center, hug your knees to your nose to your knees. Give your whole body one big squeeze and release Shavasana. Take your feet wide, take your arms wide. So wide enough that your chest feels fully open. Your shoulders are able to relax down as much as possible. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, exhale it out. And hug your knees up into your chest. Roll to a side. Press up to a seat. And in your seat, press your palms together over the center of your heart. Press your seat down into the floor of the block. Lift your crown up. And then pin your shoulders onto your back. Pause here. So there's that foundation that you set into the floor through a practice. And now there's a foundation that you set within yourself. And so as you breathe, as you touch your heart, take your attention into the space around your heart. Breathe into your space. Set your roots deep there. And then into that space, set your intention for the day. And we'll close together with 3 final ohms. Take a breath in. Bring your thumb to the center of your forehead. Take a breath in. Blow it out through your mouth. And together we say, Namaste. Namaste. Great job this morning, everybody. Beautiful practice. If you all ever have questions about anything that goes on during practice, why this, why not that, always feel free to ask. Otherwise, have a great rest of your What day is it? Week, Tuesday. Yes. So lifting your toes up is an access point. So it does not, this is not a hard, fast rule. It's not like your toes are not allowed to be on the floor. Lifting your toes up, it gives you that, here's my heel, that's my big toe mound. When I don't lift my toes and I go for the big toe mound, I usually do something more like that. So it just gives you those 2 points, like the core of your foot. And then over time, you'll be able to relax your toes and keep those 2 points. Until that time comes, a lot of us are benefit from practicing with our toes up as much as possible just to get those parts of the foot down. Yeah, so it's not like a hard, fast rule that you have to have your toes up. Yeah, so show me. Yeah, like your baby toe comes up. So that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. If that lifts a little bit, that's okay. Yeah. We and you can, the main corners you want is the heel and the big toe mound. If that baby toe comes up a little bit, that's not a big deal. The reason why is because most of us default, and gravity wise, we default out this way. So we either turn out to accommodate it or we actually roll out to accommodate it. So what you're doing is you're training. You can see how my shin bone has to swing back in and underneath everything when I do that. You're training your shin bone to stay underneath your knee when you do anything. And that takes training, which is crazy because you'd imagine they just do it. Yes.